If you've gone through a breakup that you feel should never have happened, if you feel like you and your ex belong together and you're desperate for a way to get a second chance, well, you need a plan to make that happen. You need a proven, effective strategy that will take you from the point where you're at now with your ex to a point where you're back in their arms, officially together again. Now, why do I say you need a plan? Well, because I see so many people try to go it alone, figure it out on the fly, and make mistakes or miss opportunities because they don't have a clear strategy that will actually work, that will actually end happily back together with their ex. And really, I don't want you to fall into that kind of situation. So here in this video, I'll give you the best possible plan to make sure that you win back your ex and find that second chance that you're dreaming of. Now, before we begin, if you're new here, I'm Brad Browning, aka Breakup Brad or the Ex-Back Geek. And I've been a breakup coach for 13 plus years now, and I've helped 140,000 or more clients from 131 countries get through a tough breakup and get back together with their ex. So if you're looking for trustworthy advice and guidance with your breakup situation, you're in the right place. So now let's talk about this grand plan to win back your ex. First, let me be honest with you. The very best plan for getting your ex back is my X Factor Guide. It's an online training program that I've created after years as a breakup coach, and it is quite simply the single most comprehensive and most popular guide to getting back with an ex. I know that sounds kind of arrogant to say, but I'm so confident that the X Factor program will give you your best possible shot at rekindling things with your ex that I guarantee your success if you sign up for the program at my website, breakupbrad.com. Once you sign up, you get access immediately, and you can try out the program and implement it for a full 60 days risk-free. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work for you, return it at any time within 60 days for a full refund. If you want to learn more, visit breakupbrad.com now or after this video is over to take me up on that risk-free offer and get started right now. Okay, that's my sales pitch. Let's move on. I'm going to give you the abbreviated version of my X Factor program here in this video. And if you do follow the advice that I'll be sharing, you'll be well on your way to successfully getting another chance with your ex. Hopefully soon, although I'm not going to guarantee you'll succeed immediately. Sometimes it can take weeks or months depending on your situation. Nonetheless, let's start with step one. Now, the basis of my X Factor program is what I call the 3R system: recovery, rekindling, and reattraction. Now, the first phase, the recovery phase, covers roughly the first month or so after breaking up. Or if it's already been a while since the breakup, then the first 30 days from now. So the recovery phase is partly what it sounds like. It's a time for you to recover from the worst of the post-breakup emotions and heartache. But more than that, it's also the period where you're going to isolate yourself from your ex to set yourself up for success in the next two phases. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, come on, Brad, I'm recovered enough, let me jump straight to the next step. Well, I'm sorry, that's really not how it works. Even if you are in the right emotional state of mind, your ex probably isn't. You can't skip the recovery phase because it really is essential to set the stage for the rekindling period that comes next. Now, the most important element of the recovery phase is, of course, the 30-day no-contact strategy. You probably knew this was coming, and I'm not going to disappoint you. The first step to a successful plan to getting your ex back is always a period of no contact. And as hard as it can be to implement, as much as you may want to find another method out there that doesn't require you to go silent and ignore your ex for several weeks, there really is no shortcut. No contact is critical in 99% of all breakups. Now, I've actually made a video already about the few rare situations where no contact isn't always required, which I'll put a link to in the description below. But for the vast majority of you watching this, you're going to need to implement no contact. And you're going to need to do it as soon as possible. Now, the reason why is simple. No contact has several key benefits that simply can't be achieved any other way. First of all, quickly and completely shutting down communication with your ex forces them to go, cold turkey instead of allowing them to wean themselves off you over time. So they can't just, pick up the phone to hear your voice anytime they miss you because you're not going to be around to answer. They'll just have to face that pain and loneliness on their own. Now, this might sound cruel, and it can be hard for your ex, but that heartache your ex is going to feel is only going to make them want you back more and make them wonder if they've made a mistake in breaking up. Secondly, no contact is the only way to make your ex miss you as much as possible. You really can't miss something or someone that's a part of your life. So the more you're around your ex after breaking up, the more you text one another, meet up for coffee, etc., the less they'll miss you. And as you know, if you've watched some of my past videos, you need them to miss you in order for them to feel that desperation and that urge to take you back. The more your ex misses you, the more tempting it's going to be for them to give in to their emotions and ask you to take them back. Thirdly, and on another similar note, no contact is designed to get your ex back to what I call an emotional neutral state. So it's going to put them in a place where they're more likely to actually respond positively to what comes next in the rekindling phase. And the 30-day time frame that I usually recommend for no contact is based on science and research that shows that this is the average amount of time it takes for people to reach that, sweet spot where they're going to be most receptive to your rekindling efforts in step 2. And finally, no contact gives you time to get a handle on your own emotions, put yourself together, and start doing fun and interesting things with your life that your ex is going to want to hear about and be a part of. And more than that, it's the perfect opportunity for you to take on some self-improvement, get ahead in life at work or in school or in your social circle and so on. So no contact isn't just about ignoring your ex, which is why I often call it dynamic no contact, because it's really a period of time with little or no communication with your ex, but it's absolutely not a period where you can just sit at home on the couch alone watching Netflix. It's a time where you really want to seize the opportunity, grow as a person, make new friends, and so on. And all of that is going to set you up for the next phase, rekindling, which starts at the end of your period of no contact. Congratulations, you've made it through the recovery phase and completed a period of no contact. So your ex is likely now in a place where their feelings of missing you are really at their peak. They've had limited or no contact with you for several weeks at least. They're desperate to hear from you and curious about what you've been up to and why you haven't been around like they probably assumed that you would be following the breakup. And more than that, science shows that this is roughly the time where they're most likely to have begun letting go of their negative memories and emotions. So they're no longer fixated on the bad parts of your relationship that contributed to the decision to break up, but they're still longing for the good times and nostalgic for the positive things that you brought to their life. So obviously then this is a perfect time to re-engage and reopen the dialogue with your ex. And remember, this video is all about having a clear plan to get your ex back. You really need to reestablish contact in a specific way. So you can't just call up your ex on day 30 and ask them to take you back. That is a recipe for disaster. You need to start slow, be patient, and work your way towards step 3 where things are going to really start to come together. So I always recommend using text messages or WhatsApp or some kind of text messaging platform to reach out after no contact. In-person meetups and phone conversations are a lot more likely to backfire and go badly. And honestly, you could end up, unintentionally saying or doing something that will really set you back and hurt your chances. So stick to texting initially and always have a clear goal with whatever message you're sending your ex. Don't just, wing it. Think it through, come up with a good, interesting message that will make your ex laugh or smile, or even just remember a happy shared memory. Basically, know exactly what you want to say and what you hope to achieve with that message before you hit the send button. Now, I made a video on this exact topic, how to reconnect after no contact, just a few months ago. And again, I'll link to that in the description below if you want more specific samples and examples and ideas of what to say and how to handle those initial conversations. But in summary, it's all about making sure that your message has a purpose. Sharing a joke that your ex will appreciate and laugh at, asking a specific question they'll be able to answer, updating them on a situation or a story in your life that they're going to care about. Those kinds of things have a purpose, and they're not just, closed or pointless, hey, what's up messages that are going to get you nowhere. I've also included a ton of example texts in my X Factor program that you can basically copy and paste to your ex. So if you want to learn about those and the rest of my full online course, just visit breakupbrad.com, watch the free tutorial video, and sign up today. Now, the rekindling phase is called rekindling for a reason. This really is all about warming up your ex for what comes next, breaking down their walls and ensuring that they don't see you as a threat or see your true intentions. And also, just to remind them how much fun you can be, how much positivity you brought to their life, and why they fell for you in the first place. So think of this phase as pouring gasoline on a pile of wood. You haven't lit the match yet, but when you do, it's going to burst into flames. Sometimes you can move into step 3, the reattraction phase, after just a few text message exchanges with your ex. But for some people though, depending on the details of your specific situation, it may take quite a bit longer than that. And you really do need to be patient because you can't rush the process. You want to interpret your ex's reaction and replies to each of your messages carefully to gauge how receptive they're being and how likely it is that they're going to react positively when you do suggest meeting in person. So while it can be tempting to just rush through the rekindling phase after a couple of good texting exchanges, moving too fast can really lead you to a major setback. And there's one other thing that you need to know about this phase. You're not trying to win your ex back with any single message or conversation. In fact, you don't even want to really treat these texts you'll be sending as conversation starters. The goal isn't to open, a long, meaningful conversation with your ex, at least not initially. It's to remind them how awesome you still are, spark some curiosity and intrigue so they want to know more, and basically get them to a point where they're no longer focused on the problems that led to your breakup. So for this reason, you never want to get too serious with your early texting exchanges, and you always want to leave your ex smiling or feeling positive and nostalgic. So don't ever let yourself get drawn into any drama, bickering, or boring chats. And try to be the one to end any back and forth exchanges with your ex. Try to leave out plenty of details to leave your ex wanting more, and try to make it extremely obvious to your ex that you've been absolutely kicking ass in life since the breakup and that you're thriving without them. Now this, of course, is the exact opposite of what your ex is going to be expecting, and it's a very attractive thing for your ex that will put them in the right frame of mind for the final phase. Awesome, you made it to the final R, reattraction. So you've reopened positive communication with your ex. You've exchanged a handful of positive and enjoyable messages with your ex to restart contact and get them thinking about you and remembering all the fun and excitement and companionship that you brought to their life. So now it's time to take the final step and turn this friendly banter into an in-person meetup, flirting, and a real romantic connection. When the time is right, and again, this is going to vary a lot depending on your situation, you need to find a reason to propose a coffee date with your ex just to catch up. Now, don't call it a date. In fact, it's critical that your ex thinks this first meetup isn't going to be romantic or anything threatening. So when I say that you need a reason to propose the meeting in person, I mean you need to think of something that will serve as a legitimate excuse to meet up. So this can be as simple as asking them to help you with your upcoming physics exam, asking for advice planning an upcoming vacation, or sharing some hilarious or interesting story that they simply need to hear in person. Whatever it is, just be sure it will pass your ex's sniff test and not set off any alarm bells. And if you handled step 2, the rekindling phase, properly, they'll almost certainly agree to meet up. Now, when you're finally together in person again, there's 3 rules that you need to remember at all times. Number 1, always keep it fun, casual, and upbeat. So just like your texts in the previous phase, don't ever let things get serious or heated when you're talking with your ex. No digging up old dirt, no asking about whether they're dating again, no jealousy or depressing serious talk. Just show your ex a good time. Make them laugh, smile, and remember your positive attributes and all the things that they loved about you when you were together. Number 2, flirt and build sexual tension. Yes, it's true your ex does think this is just a friendly meetup over coffee, but you really do want to flirt as much as you can without going overboard. And the more your ex is receptive to your flirting advances, the more you have a green light to continue to ramp those things up. So playfully touch them, tease them, drop in sexual innuendo here and there. Just flirt, really. Treat it like a first date. I know this can be tricky, obviously, and you'll have to read the situation and sort of adjust your behavior accordingly. But if you want to make your ex attracted to you, sexually desire you, and see all your best attributes, you kind of have to flirt and advance on your ex. And number 3, don't rush it. Sometimes it'll take 3 or 4 in-person encounters with your ex to make any real progress. So if your ex isn't really responding that well to your flirting, back down a bit and just aim for a fun encounter with your ex that ends well and leaves the door open for more meetings in the near future. You may have to slow things down, revert to occasional texting exchanges, etc. at times, during the process if things aren't progressing that well after your first couple of meetups. Now, unfortunately, I can't really go into any more detail here in this video. Again, please visit breakupbrad.com and sign up for a risk-free trial of my full X Factor program for a complete step-by-step guide to the reattraction phase and really answers to all of your what-if questions. At the very least, please watch the free tutorial video at breakupbrad.com to get some more tips and psychological hacks that you can use on your ex to ensure this phase goes as well as possible. And if you run into any issues or you have a particularly unusual situation that you're facing with your ex, be it in this reattraction phase or really anywhere along the way, please consider signing up for a month of my one-on-one personal ongoing coaching and get my help as things unfold. I'll learn about your specific situation, gauge where you're at, and then we'll work together to make sure that you maximize your chances and you don't accidentally take any steps backward. And again, you can sign up at breakupbrad.com/coaching anytime you need my help. If you've watched all the way to this point in the video, thank you and congratulations. Now it's time to go and put all of what you've learned into practice and actually start winning back your ex. I sincerely hope you do succeed, and I really do think that you'll be giving yourself the absolute best possible chance by following the plan that I've shared here with you in this video. Now, in exchange for giving you a clear plan that's actually got a great chance of working, I only ask that you click like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment or question below if you have a minute to spare. Again, all the best of luck out there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.